You're watching Ticket TV. Like, share, and subscribe on your way in. All right, you guys. So I want to talk about the situation that happened with comedian Corey Holcomb and his co-host Darlene. And again, y'all smash the like button, share the video, like the videos, y'all come on in. I was, just disappointed in how that show went down. I thought Corey should have just left the whole situation alone since the situation happened with Anton. Obviously, bag chasing Republican came on there trying to destroy Corey's show and dismantle the show and the co-host, and it seems like that's slowly happening. But not the way I thought it was going to happen. It's happening in a completely different fashion. Because Corey, he's just not going to stop. He's made that clear. He's come on 2 consecutive weeks going in on, Bag Chaser. And he has also allowed this thing to go in on the man's kids, on the man's wife. And now with his own co-host, Darlene. Now, for you guys who didn't really pretty much see how the play went down, the week following, Bag Chaser going on there, Mr. Bag Chasing, Christian Republican guy going on there, and, telling Corey, well, let's step outside, and, basically, seeming as if he really wanted smoke with Corey after, he invited or he told Corey that Corey was a beefcake eater. Corey, that really made him feel away. I knew he was heated. And you could tell Corey, his temperature, run on hot. When he get upset, you could tell he get upset. The only thing I think that saved that situation is that they were on live. Him and Bag Chaser, they was on live. So them being on live, I think kind of, made Corey think, I got other things going on. I got, other legal situations I'm dealing with. So I don't need something else on my helmet. And I'm just getting out of situations, or I'm still, got certain situations going on, because that's going to make things even worse. And so him not taking the fade and stuff like that, and really just, the way it went down, it opened up a lot of people to go in on him and say, you can do this, you can do that to this lady, but you can't do that to the man. And I know that boiled his blood that entire week. So he goes back the very next week and he pops up with that T-shirt. So he pops up with the T-shirt that has, the monkeys on it depicting Anton's wife and his daughter, right? And, he has Anton in the middle. And the T-shirt says, hey, leave my family out of this, right? He actually sold that T-shirt on his website, right? So he got a lot of criticism for that, for going at the youth, at the kids and stuff like that, and at the kid and at the wife, because they weren't directly involved in the situation. And some people thought that, hey man, that's off limits. But Corey, he took it there, right? So at this point, Bag Chasing Tampon, he stepped off and he said basically, I don't want no more problems. You know what I'm saying? He basically hinted that, he started talking legal talk. You feel me? So he backed out, started talking legal talk. Now, at the same time, remember TMZ had put out this tape, right? So Corey was upset about that too, because, the YouTube channel Comedy Hype, one of their channels, and TMZ put out that tape, right? Where he got into it with that lady. Now, they both say it's longer versions to the tape. We haven't seen it. We only saw the version that we all saw, which, Corey and the lady, they were having a conversation. The lady seemed like she was, arguing with Corey or ranking on Corey, and Corey steps up and, mushes her real hard. So, that tape looked really, really bad. And it was bad, you know what I'm saying? And, I was one of the guys who said, I don't think Corey should have put his hands on the woman. He should have just, got up out of there and walked away. It was nothing good that was going to happen from that situation at all. And so, the fact that nobody just got him up out of there when they seen that thing escalate, or even when he stepped up, I'm saying, how everybody didn't just jump in, because he stepped up, and there was still a moment before, he let off on her. So they had enough time to really jump in there and try and just get him out of there, but they didn't. And so, That happens. The video comes out. Now he goes back. Not only is he ranking on tampon, bag chasing Republican, but he's also going in on TMZ and other people who have been criticizing him online. So then he pulls out that shirt, says he's selling the shirt. He hangs the shirt up, or he raises it up, says he's selling the shirt, and we go to the next week, right? So the very next week, which will be this past week, he goes on the show, and now comes a situation with him and Darlene. And Darlene has been on the show for 16 years with this dude, riding with this guy. And we all know Darlene's Hispanic. So, she's not black, she's Hispanic. So Darlene, she probably didn't want to be getting involved in that situation where, you got a black dude going against another black dude, and then the daughter is black, the wife is black. Darlene probably didn't want nothing to do with that type of smoke. You could tell she was turned off by that whole situation of when he was talking about the daughter and the woman. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's because Darlene has a kid of her own. Maybe because Darlene doesn't, like that whole how the whole situation went. But Corey, he put the test to Darlene. He told Darlene, "Hey, hold up this T-shirt, the same T-shirt with the two, the Anton's wife and daughter being depicted as monkeys," and she refused to do it. She refused to do it. She stood on it. She said, "No, I'm not doing it." And he got really upset, like right there on live, because she wouldn't do it. He said, "Look, I'll get a B to do it. If you ain't going to do it," implying that he could, potentially replace her and have another chick that's willing to hang that shirt or hold that shirt up. Now, Darlene, I think Corey put her in a bad position, man. Again, I agree with what old boy said. I forget dude's name. Damn, his name slipped off my tongue. I'll think of it in a second. I agree with one of the brothers said online that, bro, Darlene's Hispanic. She ain't trying to get inside that situation to have all these black folks going off on her because she's out there holding up that type of T-shirt. She don't want that on her docket. You know what I'm saying? You was on that solo mission. So, he gets into it with Darlene and, really kind of, pulls her down and says, "Look, I'm going to get a chick who's willing to do it. I'm going to get somebody who's willing to hold this thing up since you ain't willing to do it." And then he starts, he just really starts badgering her about it. She looks real sad about it. And a lot of people were upset and bothered by that. He ends the show rapping against her, talking about, he going to find a different chick or find a different beat to do it. This, that, and the third. And it just looked bad overall, man. It just looked like a situation where, bro, women been rocking with you for 16 plus years. You know what I'm saying? Had your back, hold you down. Don't put her in that type of position because, again, she's Hispanic. The imagery of somebody, that's, especially that's non-black, holding that type of stuff up. And then you talking about the youth. You talking about somebody's wife. And then I heard Darlene got kids, so she probably felt the way. You know what I'm saying? Corey should have did that shit, man. Shouldn't have did that, bro. That was wrong, man. I thought Corey should have just left that shit alone from after when it happened. I said that on my main channel. And the fact that he continued to allow that to cook, you know what I mean? Wow, man. And now that it's gotten even bigger. And he's continuously going in on TMZ. He's saying that he's losing gigs and stuff like that. And so, I mean, it's just crazy work, man. You guys, y'all let me know what y'all feel. Y'all already know what's up, man. Hit me in that comment section. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure y'all click those links below. Subscribe to the podcast show. You can donate support to the channel, Cash App, PayPal, or buy that weight loss formula. All the links are below. Peace.